was actually supported by the Department of Personnel and Training and Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances, which also allowed me to go on a fellowship supported by British Council to understand about Citizens Charter or modernizing governance in UK. And I had the privilege of spending 6 weeks there as a fellowship scholar to understand how these good governance issues can be replicated in countries like India, but made India centric. So having said that, we are definitely going to learn a lot from you today. And I can assure you that all the participants are very eager to listen to you. So the mic is yours. Please, Manish ji, as our chief guest, we would like to hear from you your presentation. Manish ji.
So thank you so much, Professor Bijon Mishra, for a very, very, I really feel humbled with the type of introduction that you have given for me. And I'm sure before me are a lot of very, very intelligent and distinguished dignitaries that are present in the panel discussion. I welcome each and every one of them. Also, before I start, I would like to thank Shri Prafuldi Seth for his very erudite and to the point welcome address, where he has brought in the main issues which are there for today's panel discussion. Also, my friend Sanjay Chadha, who has so gracefully invited me for this panel discussion, he has also brought many issues and concerns. And finally, a very, very enthusiastic response from our guest of honor, Shri Sayyid Zafar Islam, who's the former MP and he was also the spokesperson of BJP. He has very nicely, he has very nicely summarized the whole issue, all from the micro and perspective also, and from the macro perspective of the economy and how these GST reforms are going to help the country. So, first of all, I'm so happy that you have said something about consumer forums. I think we must appreciate two things. First is that we are living in interesting times and at a most interesting place, and that is India. For one thing, India, we must see these reforms in that background that we are living in India, which is a very competitive market, and competition is the key over here. The markets are competitive. And secondly is that we are living in a democratic setup, and where the voices of consumer associations like the Consumer Online Foundation have played a very significant role in ensuring that the government reforms are actually passed on to the actual consumers. And as you have said that you have been associated with both the Citizen Charter initiative and with the government of UK, and also with the Competition Commission of India being registered as the first organization in the CCI, I think you have done a really yeoman service to the nation by participating in these forums. Because at the end of it, what we need is to really have a citizen centric government. Now, coming to the issues, which is the topic of the day, which is the GST reforms, as we know that GST 2.1 GST 1.0 was introduced in 2017. What had it done was it had subsumed a plethora of taxes, central excise and service tax, which was administered by the central government, VAT and sales tax, which was administered by the state government, and other many other taxes like entertainment tax, octroi, and at that time there was really no transparency in the taxation structures. The borders between one state to other state, there was difference in taxes, and there were queues on the borders, which was really affecting the economy. GST 2.0 GST 1.0 has really given a boost to the economy because it has created a common market for across the India. And as my eminent speaker, Mr. Zafar, had already spoken to you, that this has been demonstrated by two things. One is the increase in the taxpayer base, which has gone up from 60 lakhs, which was the tax registered taxpayers in 2017 in GST, and now it has gone to around 1.51 crores. Also, the tax collected has doubled in this period, more than doubled. So from 2017, the tax in 2021, the total tax collection was around 11 crores. Now it has more than doubled. It is now around 22 lakh crores, which is a very big jump. And since last year itself also, it is now increased to nearly 9% increase year on year. And if you see on a monthly average, we are collecting around 2 lakh crore per month, which is nearly in the last 2 months, we have reached the target, and which is really an exceptional collection of the taxes. So before I say, some of the points have already been raised, and it has been said, what are the reforms all about? These reforms are all about consumers, bringing the best prices and making to the consumers, and also the making the markets more and more competitive, and taking out distortions from the market, especially as concerned with the duty rates also, inverted duty structures. So, um, some of the points which Sanjay had raised was that this reduction has got a direct benefit to the consumer, which we all know. Previously, the tax rate, as you all know, was there were four rates. If you include zero rate also, there were five rates: 0% rate, and then 5% rate, 12, 18, and 28. And now there are two slabs. One is 5% for essential goods and 18% for the standard goods. And then some of the goods which are daily consumer goods which are exempted from duty. These will essentially reduce the tax burden on the consumer per se. So, as you know, the direct taxes versus the indirect taxes. The indirect taxes, all GSTs are indirect taxes. So, indirect taxes have a direct bearing on the consumer. They are not equitable as in the direct taxes, because direct taxes, if your income increases, your tax rate also increases, the tax structure increases. But what is the duty on the goods, indirect tax duty is equitable. So even if you are having an income of a low income or a middle income or a higher income, everybody has to pay the same tax on the goods. So that way it is considered inequitable. So it is very, very important that to bring the tax rate down on those commodities which are essentially consumed by the common person. And that, if you go through the list of the consumer items on which the tax has been reduced, products like the milk, daily products like of daily use, fast moving consumer good items like soap, shampoos, your hair oil, all these goods and electronic items has gone down. Secondly, consumer items, electronic items, items like air conditions, etc. There also the duty has been reduced from 28%, and now it has gone down to 18%, and this will give a boost to the consumer economy. So some of the concerns are there. So I will not take too much of time because most of the points have already been covered by my colleagues. But two or three apprehensions remain, and I would like to just cover those apprehensions and address those issues. First is the issue is regarding the passing of the lowering of the tax burden to the consumer. So, as in the welcome address, it was said that there is apprehension amongst consumer units, that consumer organizations, and amongst the consumer, that this benefit will not be passed on to the consumers. I think this is not really the way the tax administration is implementing this tax reform, I think this is unfounded. This type of apprehension is unfounded. Previously, when the GST was introduced, at that time we had a provision of anti-profit ring. Anti-profit ring is something where if some duty has been passed on, and a consumer doesn't pass, if a producer is not passing on that to the consumer, then he can be punished under the anti-profiting law. The anti-profiting law has now had its sunset. It is now not there anymore. Now we are not in a regime where anti-profiting duty laws are not there. So the idea behind this is that not many cases were coming in the anti-profiteering regime, and secondly, the point which I said in the beginning, the markets in India are competitive. So because of that competition in the market, it takes care of ensuring that the benefits are passed on to the consumer. For example, if it is a soap, and if one of the company is suppose not, let's say, not passing on the benefit finally to the consumer, then his product will be more expensive, and the other and his demand will obviously go down. So he will be forced, because of the market forces, he will be forced to pass on these products, pass on these benefits to the consumer. Secondly, is the approach which the tax administration and the political economy has taken up to ensure that these consumers are benefited, as was explained by my colleague, by the BJP, former BJP MP, Mr. Zafar, that they are taking up. The finance minister has also been going up, meeting the consumer people. I had attended one of the seminars where the finance minister had spoken on NDTV, and all the industry bigwigs were there in that seminar. And I think each and every industry captain had appreciated the reform of GST, and had promised that they will be passing on the benefit of the tax cut finally to the consumer. So this is the second approach, which is a political approach and an advocacy approach, which is taking place. The third is consumer movements like you, which will ensure, especially sectors like pharmaceutical, etc., where ultimately, if the benefits are not passed on to the final consumers, then these can be highlighted, and the companies can be then forced to reduce the rates. And finally, for us as tax administrators, we have been also given a task to monitor the price of certain commodities by the field units. So this task will ensure that we have already found out what is the prevailing prices of certain consumer goods on which duty has been reduced. Now this price will be followed, will be monitored by the field units, and in case then there is any deviation, then that will be brought to the notice of the consumers in general, so that there is a general pressure to ensure that the consumer that the benefit is passed on to the ultimate consumer. And as you see, the whole value chain of goods is such that when goods reach ultimately to the consumer, it passes through certain uh, too many hands, because that is called the value addition tax. So there is a distributor, then there is a first there's a manufacturer, then there's a distributor, then finally there is a retailer. So each stage, every player in the market has its own margin. So once the duty is reduced, all these players are competing or are negotiating with each other to ensure that they get the maximum benefit of the reduction of the taxes. So ultimately, I think the competition will take care of the market, of the consumer prices, and we all should be rest assured that the benefit will actually be uh, reaching the common person for whom the Prime Minister has announced these reforms, and for the benefit these reforms have been announced. Another thing is which was highlighted by Mr. Chadha also, was that certain states have said that their revenue exchequer, shortage of revenue exchequer, which is amounting to around 48,000 crores fiscal strain on the government exchequer. There's a always, whenever rates are reduced, there will be some of the concerns by the state government, and that the revenue collection will be reduced. Now, as far as revenue collection is concerned, first thing is we need to look at history, how it has happened. If you look at when the GST was introduced first time, we had to fix a rate which was a revenue neutral rate. That revenue neutral rate was such so that whatever state governments were collecting before the introduction of GST, at least after the introduction of the GST, they would collect the same amount of revenue. Because of that, the revenue rates have been pegged at a high level at 28% in certain categories. But now, after 8 years of our seeing the reforms and seeing how the revenue has grown, I think India is in a very confident state to see that despite the reduction in the in the rates, there will be an increase in the revenue in future. I can say I will not. I can say this with confidence because we have seen the revenue increase over the past 5 to 6 years. It has more than doubled, and concomitant and along with it, the tax base has also increased. Because of the reduction in rate, I am very sure more and more taxpayer will come in the tax base, and we will have a more democratic system, and more consumers, more producers will be coming in the tax base, and the total tax collection will increase over a period of time. In the short run, there would be certain shortage of the revenue, but I think in the long run, by better administration of tax, etc., this shortfall can be overcome in the long run also. As far as some of the states which have said that they will be needing some compensation, I think the cess on compensation has now expired. It was in July, somewhere in 2022, that the additional cess which was collected has been done away with. So the states have to generate their own revenue, and that will mostly depend on how best tax administration conducts itself, how they are ensuring that revenue, there's no leakage of revenue, and how we are providing better taxpayer services to the consumers, to the manufacturers and the taxpayers. And finally, because of the inverted duty structure, now one of the question is raised that why hasn't this been done away with? It is really not possible to do away with the inverted duty structures because many of the input credits are used in multiple commodities, and some of the commodities may be having a lower rate whilst other commodities may be having a higher rate. Like for example, the example which was given by Mr. Chadda about a pencil. So pencil must be using some product like lead, and but pencil is exempted, but lead may be also used in some other products, like for example producing explosives, so they must be. So that is why this type of inverted duty structure comes in. But to take care of this inverted duty structure, the government has made efforts to ensure that the refunds on inverted duty structures are fast paced, and there are instructions given to the field formation to ensure that refund on such type of inverted duty structure cases, these refunds should be given timely to the taxpayers, and this is being monitored at the highest level. So I think with these type of better administrative machinery and better taxpayer services, I am sure this issue of taxpayer inverted duty structures will also be resolved. And finally, I must say and compliment the government and for everybody, the whole consumers movement and everybody, that these reforms have finally seen the light of the day, and it has come at a very opportune time. India is growing at a very good rate, as has been told that our ratings has also improved, and we are making a big presence in the world market as being a single largest market. Our middle income, middle class is growing. Our capacity to buy goods and consume goods is also increasing. And as India grows, I think if the domestic market is strong, and our demand in the domestic market is strong, I think we will be able to meet the challenges which have been posed by uncertainties of the external markets. That is, like, for example, the war which is happening in Ukraine, in Russia, or the Gaza war, or the tariffs which have been imposed by the US. President Trump's imposition of 50% tariff on export from India, and many, many other things. So the whole point over here is that we have to make our economy very, very strong. And in this journey, I must say that it is not only the government which can take this initiative. It has to be the an approach which is a collaborative approach between the industry, the civil society movements like the consumer forums, and also the governments. So government can be really like a, what do you call, like a catalyst, but the real action or the chemical reaction has to take place in the markets itself. And the good news is that our markets are growing, our markets are competitive, and our markets are well functioning. So I'm sure with this in this scenario, we should not worry about things like we should not have a negative approach about these reforms, especially with regard to not passing the uh, not passing the benefits of the reduction of tax rates to the consumers, or of regarding the loss of exchequer to loss of revenue to the exchequer. So these are things which, in the long run, will be taken care of by a robust and a strong economy. And the GST 2.0 reforms are really put a new have has really laid a foundation for such a strong economy in the future. So, with these words, I thank everyone for patiently listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. That
Bijanda,
was
before you speak, I'm sorry, I have to tell you a very important person, Justice D.P. Chaudhary, who happened to be justice at Cuttack High Court, and a great consumer activist, I must say. He was the president of Odisha State Consumer Commission. He is also with us. I'm deeply honored, sir, and I would request Honorable Justice D.P. Chaudhary to please open your camera and mic, and please we wanted to meet you also.
thank you,
Justice Chaudhary.
Ji, for recognizing Justice D.P. Chaudhary ji, and I'm very happy that he has taken time to come with us and join this conversation. And firstly, let me react to Manish ji.
Yes, please. So, and it was also a great thing for us that Mr. Chaudhary has joined.
Yes, yes, absolutely. We are honored, we are privileged, and we would definitely like to hear. Manish ji, you made some very vital points in terms of why the consumer should not be worried. We get worried only on two accounts, let me tell you very frankly. One is consumers are always ready to pay taxes. They're keen to pay taxes. In fact, the mechanism is such that whether you like it or not, you'll end up paying. You have to pay because it's at the source collected. What we get worried is we pay this money for the welfare of the country and the citizens. And we expect, that every rupee reaches the exchequer for which it has been collected. But as you know, there are black sheeps everywhere, and there are people who collect the money, but they don't deposit it to the exchequer, and they consume it themselves, which is not only illegal, but it is criminal. Now, where we get worried is that such money, when it gets recovered, and when it gets recovered, it is actually consumers' money. It doesn't belong to the government because it is actually consumers' money, which has been, in a illegal manner, unfair manner, got collected and then recovered. So our contention has always been that all this money which gets recovered should be used in the interest of the consumers. That's number one. Number two, as you know very well, because you have worked with the government, that we were instrumental in creating something called the Consumer Welfare Fund. And this Consumer Welfare Fund got created only out of such enrichment or gorging which happened, where certain criminal-minded industry or traders, they took money of the consumer and illegally parked it with them, which of course the regulator and the government, was able to recover. And that Consumer Welfare Fund is growing today. And in this GST, as you would know, the provision is that every recovery which happens under GST goes to the Consumer Welfare Fund. And what I would like to tell you all is that, we brought in Competition Commission of India by taking away the monopolistic, MRTP Commission, which was existing in our country.
Shall I tell you? Okay.
Trade Practices Act, which got nullified, and we brought in Competition Commission of India. And as I told you, we got involved right from the day one, not only in order to convince the government that we need a, regulator to regulate the market in terms of competition, but we also wanted to ensure that if anybody is practicing any kind of an unfair trade practice, then they have to be penalized. And then, as you know, we don't come to know in a transparent manner that how much money got collected, who paid, who has not paid. And such data is made available in our democratic country through an RTI or through representations made by our elected representatives in their parliamentary committees. We have very well structured, robust systems to find out. But at the end of the day, more than 70% of the consumers in the country, they want the government to make such information transparent, simple, and easy to understand. And that's our biggest anxiety. Our biggest anxiety is we don't understand. We don't have resources. We don't have money. As consumer organization, we don't get funded. And of course, we're happy that we are not getting funded by the government because of the fact that we want citizens to fund it and make it grow. But what we always want to do is to engage experts who have domain expertise to help us to do studies, surveys, which we can go before the parliamentary committee and present, which we do also from time to time when we are invited. What I want to close and open for question and answer and comments now is that, our anxiety needs to be relaxed in the sense that we would like that there should be a effective, efficient mechanism where we as consumers are able to decode the invoices which are given to us in terms of whether proper taxation. So you mentioned that you will be closely monitoring. I was very happy to hear that. But what I would like to use the word is surveillance. There should be a very good, robust surveillance mechanism which should expose such culprits so that we don't become victims of such culprits who are cheating us. And unfortunately, we don't come to know most of the time unless we dedicate some of our resources to find that out. Then we come to know and we go knocking the door of Sanju, like friends, to do PILs for us, where we get a policy change or a regulation changed. And then, of course, we have our friends in the parliament who also raise these issues on behalf of the consumers to bring those changes. So, having said that, I am sure you all will appreciate that our anxiety is genuine, our anxiety is legitimate, our anxiety is really truthful, and we are not exaggerating. I mean, I mentioned this only because, in our opening remarks from our very senior board member who mentioned that why our anxiety is there. It is there because we are looking for evidences of a robust governance, like our Honorable Prime Minister has always been saying that more governance, less government. So we want more efficient governance and less government. We are all for taxes. We need to pay taxes. So I like to open the house by inviting Justice D.P. Chaudhary to kindly give some remarks or comments, or if you have any questions to ask from the experts like Mr. Manish or our member of the parliament, Zafar Bhai, or our keynote speaker, Mr. Sanjay Chadha-ji, we will be happy to answer everyone's question and also listen to your comments. So we start with Justice D.P. Chaudhary. Justice D.P. Chaudhary.
Justice Chaudhary, you have to unmute first.
Justice Chaudhary, you have to unmute. And by the way, Sanju ji, I have been very closely working with Justice Chaudhary because I was advisor to Government of Odisha on consumer protection.
I have a very small experience. I must want to share that before. Justice Chaudhary, when Justice Chaudhary was the...
We have a lot of experiences.
No, let me share one liner. I want to say it. I never got this opportunity to express.
And give these anecdotes to the citizens. Yeah, go ahead. Please go ahead.
1 minute I'll take. When Justice Chaudhary was there in the Cuttack State Commission, he was heading as president. I could see, because I have got several opportunities to watch him working and see the cases running there. They were running. There was quick disposal of cases when Justice Chaudhary was there. And I'm so sorry when now it has really halt up. Nothing is happening there. So I want to congratulate you, sir, for serving the country for that particular period. Thank you, sir.
Justice Chaudhary.
Good evening. Good evening to all the speakers and the chief guest and you can say Mr. Bijan Mishra, who is international consumer activist, and also Mr. Chadha, who is one of the best advocates in the country, I can say, and the Mr. Govil and Mr. Islam, and also the other speakers who are there. But one thing in apprehension mind, as rightly raised by Mr. Chadha, that actually will this benefit what has been given by the Honorable Prime Minister reach the consumer? Because during my experience, I have seen many things have happened, many benefits have come, but they are not aware. By that, what is being there, the consumer exploited at the hands of the traders and those persons, those are suppliers, or the sellers, or the manufacturers, as the case may be. So, question is that actually the nice thing the government has done, that two structures, 5% GST and 18% GST, and that to say, I can say very very openly that the constitutional mandate has been really fulfilled by this structure, because the constitution wants, and part 4 of the constitution very clearly said that government should have welfare schemes so that it will benefit the basic structure of the constitution. That is part 3 of the constitution. Who is the beneficial for under the constitution? Is a common man. And you will find that all the structures what have been given 5%, 19%, you will find that those commodities which are actually used by the common man, that has been given benefit more in this structure. So one constitution, one nation. The slogan today, as in the seminar, is really welcome, and also this type of seminar should continue frequently. And two things I want to just introduce, that Mr. Gobilal said that tax administration should be robust, and also it should go to the really the grassroots level, so that they will know what is happening to the consumers who is staying in the remote villages and also in the town. So everywhere there is no scenario of Delhi or Bombay or Calcutta or Madras. There are many scenarios also which will visualized by the consumer activists running from pillar to post, right? This, as Mr. Bejan Mr. said. Mr. Chadha also apprehended something, that input and also the output, there may be some variance. So that should be looked into by the tax administration. And second thing, that this awareness of this benefit to reach the consumer must be made be aware to all the consumers at large. It's not only few of them, those who are coming to market or not, but it should be known to all and all persons in the country itself, so that the benefit as given by government, central government, should be aware of them. Third thing I want to tell, that implementation, as one of the speakers said, implementation. Mr. Islam has narrated the benefits correctly, and also we appreciate it. And second thing, that it is really implementation and awareness. Two things should be there if we want to that really implement 5% and 18% GST on this, so that it will reach the real needy person, those who are. And third thing, redressal. The redressal mechanism, as Mr. Chadha said, when I was in consumer president, that something has come up, immediate disposal. Why not now? So question is that the redressal mechanism should be very much prompt on, watch also the speaker, and that means directed by the Honorable Supreme Court many times. But it is for the state government and central government to carry out. And one thing, that if we don't have that redressal mechanism robust, then one of the right of the consumer is get defeated. Therefore, that Mr. Mishra has said what is there, I agree with him, and also Mr. Chadha rightly said, but that we cannot cover up anything else, because the people are very much watching, and therefore I want to request this type of seminar, webinar should be frequently should be held, and it should reach the people. Thanks a lot to all the chief guests and the keynote speakers, and Mr. Bijan Mishra to give me facility, Mr. Chadha to give me chance to speak on this.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much. Justice, thank you very much. As you know, that how we are trying to face the challenges and trying to bring the changes. What I suggest is, let's listen to all the participants first, and then I will request the chief guest, the guest of honor, and the keynote speaker and Praful Bhai to respond to those questions. Is that okay with you, all of you? Is it okay? So let us listen to all. So I would like to next call upon our again senior lady board member, Beena Jain, the former president of the All India Women's Conference, which is the largest women's NGO in the world, which is based out of India. AIWC, you all have heard. So Beena ji, if you are there, please unmute and come and give us, if you have any questions, you can ask, or if you have any doubts, you can ask, or if you want to say a few words, you can say. Beena ji, please come. Are you there? If you're not there, then I would go to the next person, would be Dr. Mahadev Bhatt. Dr. Mahadev Bhatt, a very renowned pharmacist based out of USA, awake at 4 o'clock in the morning to join us. So, and is smiling also. So he's not, pained with this timing. He is enjoying it. So, Dr. Mahadev.
Jayanta, thank you so much. I hope all of you can hear me.
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah. I'm really happy and I must congratulate the government that they reduced the GST to diabetic patients. Because some of the diabetic patients, they do need their medication just like having a food. You can miss a meal, but you cannot miss a diabetic medication. But I like to make another point. If you are diabetic, and I think Praful Bhai will agree with me,
We are all victims.
and you do take certain other medications. If you are at the age of 40 and if you become diabetic, and if it is a good doctor, he is going to protect your kidney and going to give you some low dose of lisinopril. He is also going to give you some cholesterol medication, low dose, so in the future you don't end up with a heart disease. Now, just giving the break on a diabetic medication, but there are certain things which are associated with it, and it needs to be taken care of. And other day, Dr. Bijanda was telling me that Ayush, Jana Aushadha Yojana, uh, why can't we have no GST on generic medication? They have made enough money on the brand name, you know, and it could be a great boost for people to go and buy generic medication. There are certain things, and I'm quite sure Bijanda, being a friend of Praful Bhai, must have learned some pharmacy. So, so, so he will put his he
Learning from
will put his thing.
you know.
Thank you very much. This was very informative.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mahadev. You have raised a very, very vital point.
Thank you.
What
Thank you, Praful Bhai. Nice seeing you. Thank you.
it is very nice, very relevant point you have raised, and I'm sure we'll start working on it to see how we can rationalize and harmonize in terms of the taxation on especially certain medications which are today very important, may not be coming into the essential medicines list, but may be highly required. So we will look into that, and as you know that in the GST 2.0, they have brought in zero taxation on some of the essential medicines. And as you very rightly pointed out, that the diabetic medication is one of those which has been exempted. So it's a work in progress, and you have raised a very valid point. We will keep working on it because there are lots to be done. I can see Binaji has come. She must have gone for a quick kind of a beverage, I would say, to drink water or something like that. So, Binaji, please unmute and come. Please unmute and come. Your mic is not unmuted. You have to unmute and come, Binaji. Amitya ji, please help her. She is not able to unmute, I think. Binaji, आपका mic unmuted नहीं है.
Yes.
नहीं, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. Binaji, we can't hear
मीना
you.
जी नीचे फोन में अनम्यूट करिए प्लीज फोन से अनम्यूट करिए she has to do it on your
नहीं है. You have to press that mic which is there to unmute it. Okay, now we'll go to the next. I can recognize again a lot of my friends, especially my friend Sudeep Sahuji, who has been a very active, journalist and very active person. Sudeep ji, आप यदि आना चाहें, आप आ सकते हैं.
आ रहा हूँ सर, मैं आ रहा हूँ. नमस्कार सबको.
नमस्कार.
यस, इसको शेयर वीडियो. यस, मेरा दिख रहा है सर. थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू. नमस्कार जी. मैंने कहा कि आज जो सेमिनार हो रही है बहुत ही बेहतरीन हो रही है. मैं जफर साहब को और चड्ढा साहब को टीवी पे देखता रहता हूँ और इनकी बातों को सुनता रहता हूँ. सबसे सभी लोगों की चिंता इस बात की है कि जो टैक्स में रिडक्शन हो रहा है जीएसटी के अंदर, उसका बेनिफिट आम लोगों को मिलेगा या नहीं मिलेगा। क्योंकि जिस तरीके से धोखाधड़ी होती है लोगों के साथ, ग्राहकों के साथ, वो उन पर शक बना ही रहता है कि कहीं ना कहीं गड़बड़ी होगी। हो सकता है आज अखबारों में विज्ञापन आ रहा है कि पहले रेट इतना था, जीएसटी रिडक्शन के बाद इतना रेट होगा। क्या वो ग्राहक तक पहुंचेगा भी या नहीं पहुंचेगा? इसके लिए जरूरी ये है कि सरकार का मैकेनिज्म इस पूरी तरह से निगाह रखे और एक लिस्ट को अखबार में छापे कि टैक्स रिडक्शन के बाद फलानी चीज के दाम कितने होंगे और कितने होने चाहिए, और पहले कितने होते थे और अब कितने होंगे। तो मुझे लग रहा है कि ग्राहकों को पता चलेगा। एम्पावर्ड कंज्यूमर इज द किंग। ये जरूरी चीज है। धन्यवाद, शुक्रिया, थैंक यू।
बहुत बहुत थैंक यू।
बिजॉन जी, जवाब दे सकता हूँ क्या 10 सेकंड में इस बात का?
अच्छा, you want to give it now right away?
Because I have to leave at 6:30.
Oh,
So if you
okay, we've got 15 minutes with us for you to leave.
Let us take one or more two questions. 6:30. Otherwise, also we are going to close.
Yeah.
Zafar bhai.
Of
Okay.
doing it by 6:30, I would like to then call upon a consumer activist who I can see and recognize. Dikshit ji, aap hain wahan? If you are there, he's from Telangana. Dikshit ji, please unmute and come. And I can also recognize several of my friends, especially Ramaiya ji from US. If you want to come in, Ramaiya ji, please come in by unmuting yourself. Deepak Yadav ji, advocate, Ashrad, Mohammad Iftikhar, आप लोग सब कोई भी, advocate Jyoti ji, please आइए, because we have another 5 minutes before we go to the speakers to give their last round of.
Hello.
Please introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Kerala from Anu Sunil Kumar and State Consumer Protection Council member.
Yeah, your question, if you have anything, or if you have any comment to make, please.
Okay, sir. Thank you for information. The good webinar.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. For your Veena ji, if you want to come, you can unmute and come. Dikshit ji, you want to come? Please come. Otherwise, I'll go to the main speakers now.
Good morning, sir. This is
there you are. I thought, what happened? I
no,
can't hear you.
my
can hear you now.
my video was blocked by you, so I could not open it. That's okay. I can talk. Thank you so much for the.
Let me tell everybody, I am not the host in this meeting. The host is somebody else who is looking after it. Advocate, my friend Amitya. Amitya, don't be unfair with my friends. I want to.
Sir, Amitya Ditya cannot do anything. It is like Mr. Ramaiya has done it on his own.
Ajay, he was not able to.
Everybody is free to open and close.
Anyway,
Thank you.
Ramaiya ji,
Thank you.
we can see you.
Thank you, sir.
We can see you absolutely clear, and your voice is also clear, and you are quite fresh early in the morning. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for very much for the opportunity to speak with you. And it has been a long time. I hope it will continue these kind of webinars. I enjoy it. Even though it's morning or day or night, I'll always try to be here. This is one of the enjoyment for me to attend your webinars. Yes, GSTs, as you rightly said, some of the pharmaceuticals have been excluded from the GST, but there are some more things need to be done. But I think it is the right direction, particularly for the rare diseases which are very, very expensive. And this must be something about the GST exclusion of these drugs. That's in the future. I hope it will come.
Very good. We need to keep doing that. So I'll go again in the reverse. First, Sanjay Chadha ji, last remarks. Then we'll go to Zafar ji, and then our Manish ji, our chief guest.
Thank you very much, Vijayanda, once again.
Dikshit from Hyderabad.
Yeah, Dikshit, you want to say something? Yeah, go ahead and say something.
Sir, the host has Okay, sir.
Anyway, we can hear you. You please speak now. Yeah, now I can see you. Yeah, I can see you.
I'm from Hyderabad, Telangana, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. Ask your question.
I am having one small doubt whether how the consumer will know that benefit passed by the government by him
Good.
after 22nd.
Okay, good question. Good question. Sanjay ji, please go ahead.
Yeah, I will not take.
Regarding clarity on the
Yeah,
product,
they will
second one regarding clarity.
Today, the main concern I feel, as most of our speakers have said, is with regard to reaching of the benefit to the consumer. That's beyond the, I think you have. And our two, I would say, I'm putting Zafar Saab also in the government side, and Manish ji, who is also from the government. He's the one who's managing the whole affair. He and his team. So both of them has very clearly and categorically what you call they have made us very assured and made us very clear that this there is a robust and strong system which government is going to see if there is anybody who is doing any kind of evasion through this way. So they will take a harsh action against them. So I am also very confident, number one, but certainly we need a, as you have rightly said, we need a vigilant body to look into it. And I really appreciate Sahuji's comment. Sahuji has very rightly said that there should be a list of items. Everything should be published. And I think as we are seeing the advertisement, when I spoke early in my earlier when I was speaking, I have mentioned about the newspapers. Today, you open the newspaper, old rate prior to 22nd of September and later rates. So the government should also come out with such things. But we have seen today in half of the newspaper was filled up with this. So certainly Sauji's thing, I totally agree with it. Number one. And number two, we are very hopeful when everything is positive happening. Why not this? I leave it up to the two people who are going to see how the best possible. I'm not taking much of the time.
Thank you,
And
Sanju ji. Thank you very much. Zafar bhai, please, before you leave us.
No, thank you, Bijanji. And I think the question which have been raised by various participants are extremely valid. And the concerns, we can appreciate that. And the government, particularly, I'm talking about the Honorable Prime Minister, extremely sensitive about it. And I can say that I have also had a long discussion on this issue earlier, when the consumers are not the beneficiary, when there is a relief given by the government. This time you can see the lot of initiative has been undertaken by the government in terms of sensitizing the business community, in terms of creating awareness among the consumer, and in terms of the direction of the government is absolutely clear that there should be fairer approach and it should be people-centric. And when the people is the priority, I think that all the efforts of the government will go towards that the consumer should be the beneficiary, and it will happen. What are the methods? Of course, there are methods which everyone knows, that creating awareness and requesting the business community. But beside that, the government has also its own machinery to implement if they find some bottlenecks. So I'm sure that all the efforts will be put in place to ensure that the biggest beneficiary is the common man on the street. But let me tell you one more thing, that the medicine which we were talking about, the life-saving medicine, has been brought to zero tax net, and that is the best initiative which the government has taken for the people who consume medicine on a daily basis. And as somebody was very rightly said, that they can miss meal but they cannot, unfortunately, miss medicine. And this government is a very compassionate government under the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister, where people is our priority. And that is any concern which has been expressed by you or on any other platform is something which does reach to the decision maker. I'm talking about the Honorable Prime Minister, and he's extremely sensitive about it, and he does acknowledge this kind of a feedback which is coming from the citizen itself. So all the policies, let me assure you one thing, that all the policies which has been made by the government so far from 2014 till now has always been people centric, citizen centric, and that's why you will be the beneficiary. Let me assure you, the benefits will ensure, we will ensure that benefit does come to you, and it will come to you for sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Zafar bhai, you know, who knows better than you? You know it that when we feel the pinch, we come and knock your door. So we'll keep.
No, it will be unfair. It will be unfair on my part if I don't mention this one line. That exactly what you said. You are spot on. The government also very clearly monitor the voice which has been raised by people like you, because you are the one who are representing the consumer and their concern. And it doesn't, all you say, whatever you say, let me assure you that doesn't go unnoticed. And that is why on this platform, when you gave me the opportunity, I'm really grateful to you, and I feel honored to be here, that it is a citizen forum, and citizen is something which is the priority of the government. And when you raise such issues on behalf of citizen, it becomes important for us to notice and implement it.
Thank you. Thank you. Naini, that's what I'm saying. You know, that's why I said all stakeholders, we are all here today. Government, representatives, consumers, our legal professionals, our retired, citizens, we are all here today. We all have our own dimensions. So finally, Manish ji, I mean, the last words we want to hear from you before we give the vote of thanks.
Thank you so much. I think it's a heavy responsibility you have given me to say the last word after such a informative discussion, and I must compliment my fellow panelist, Mr. Zafar Aslam, for summing up the whole debate in a very comprehensive manner. He has given the gist of the initiatives that the government has taken, and also all the apprehensions which the consumers have had. He has tried to address those apprehensions. And I'm sure with the government's resolve to ensure that these benefits are transferred to the ultimate consumer, we may see that the benefit reaches the consumer and also the economy. Now, there will be some apprehension still there with the consumers, but I'm sure if such apprehensions are there, then proper action will be taken against such incidents. One more thing which I want to add is, and which also gives us a lot of comfort, is that GST is GST. The whole architecture of GST has been built on the GSTN network, which is the computer portal on which the network is being, and that is one thing which I must tell you has been really game changing. This is the type of experiment which has not been done anywhere in the world. All the transactions are captured on the GSTN portal. So when you file a return, suppose you are selling your goods, so the moment you raise the invoice on the portal, and now it has become mandatory for all the traders and manufacturers who are having total turnover more than 5 crores to issue these tax invoices on the GST portal itself. So that that information gets automatically auto-populated on the purchaser's portal. So that way, filing of returns has become easier. Secondly, there is a whole gateway. We are monitoring the movement of the goods through the e-way bill system. We have a very robust e-way bill system. We also have a very robust data analytics center structure. So we are capturing the data which we are getting on the GSTN portal, and that has been shared with the field units. And wherever we see that there is a evasion of duty, and especially where there are cases of invoice manipulation and using input credit on the basis of false invoice, all these things, or registrations without having proper business but only with the intent to issue invoices, all these things are taken up very very seriously at the government level. We are hard on enforcement against the tax evaders, but very soft on the consumers. And on the other hand, the whole tax administration is being geared up to provide the taxpayer services. So, especially, I must say that we had in the past also had a samvad. When I was in GST Delhi, we used to have a dialogue with the taxpayers, and we would reach out to various markets. So I had this area of Karol Bagh and Chandni Chowk. We moved out. We spoke to the traders. We spoke to the taxpayers. What are the difficulties? And we told them that in case there is a difficulty, you reach out to the office. So for the consumers, your range office and the division office and commissionerate local jurisdictional offices are very very important. I think at the local level you should increase the interaction with the tax authorities, and don't be afraid of reaching out to the tax man over there. So they are also a friend. Because that is how we are going to move forward. So suppose and that role of the taxpayer is also, sorry, the tax administrator is also changing. It is from an enforcer, it is becoming more and more like a tax facilitator. So with your consumer organization, I would also request you that you must take this initiative of reaching out to your local tax jurisdiction. So many of these things are like the rate cuts are being decided centrally by the GST Council. But how these rates are interpreted, especially the classification issues, I'm sure with these reduction in the duty, some of these classification issues which were rising, whether it should be 5% or 18%, that would have been resolved through these tax reforms. But still, the interpretation issues will be coming, sometimes regarding invoices, input credit, and many other such issues will be coming that can be sorted out at the local level itself. So I would also urge the consumer organization to have a good interaction with the local commissionerate, and because issues at different places are different. Even in Delhi, I have seen that the issues which we are having in the north of Delhi, where we have missed many traders and small industry, and as well as the south, where there are more corporate office, are very different. So each approach has to be taken at the local level in a very different manner. So that also I'll suggest. And with these words, I would like to end my comments and really thank the organizers for conducting this very informative seminar. I'm sure we are just 18 of us over here, but many more would have joined on the through the video and through the
Yeah,
YouTube.
there is a YouTube live also, and we have over 100 people are there.
So, so I must thank everyone. Thank you so much. Also, thanks to all the persons who are watching us online. Thank you so much, and all the best for all the initiatives that you are taking. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we are sure, we are very confident, as you know, that we have always tried to reach out to the authorities, to the regulators, to the policymakers, to the elected representatives. Before I propose the vote of thanks, I will request Praful Bhai, do you have any comments or anything to say, Praful Bhai?
Thank you, Vijanda. I think I'm very happy to get all the assurances. And let's see now, as recommended, that maybe some kind of surveillance mechanism maybe should be undertaken. Awareness, of course, is very, very important. We have to see that because of the price increases, which will also start coming in later, the benefit of GST doesn't get wiped out. But certainly, it's a very assuring thing that we have received from all the speakers, and particularly Zafar Saab, who has mentioned that your voice is getting reached, and so we many a times discuss in the morning that I hope somebody is listening to your voice. But today we got that assurance, and I'm so happy, Zafar Saab. Thank you very much for that reassurance. Thank you.
Thank you, Praful Bhai. So, friends, thank you very much for attending this. Especially, I want to thank our chief guest Manish Mohan Govilji for taking time to come give us certain ideas in terms of what actually is happening and what government is doing. So that was a great, insightful kind of a journey which we all went through today. It has got recorded, and as Sanjay ji has already told you, that it's live streaming on BSK Legal, and more than 100 people are participating and listening to that. This will get recorded. It will also get.
It is already recorded, Vijonda, and I will share the videos. There are two videos because first was for 50 minutes. Then after that, another we have to do it live streaming once again. So
I can appreciate that. So you please share it with us so
yes,
that
yes, I'll
circulate it to everybody. I want to profusely thank my very close friend Said Zafar Islam, the former member of the Parliament of the Rajya Sabha, a very forceful, assertive spokesperson of BJP. You heard him today, how assertive he is, confident he is, and comes with such a rich background. And that's the pleasure, that you are talking to an elected representative who is knowledgeable, who knows the subject, and you can talk to him on that subject and learn from him. And that is what we keep doing. And stay in touch, keep encouraging us, and we are very sure that whatever our Honorable Prime Minister is thinking about the poor, about the vulnerable population, about the consumers, we will all work together to make that happen. Because, as I said, it's not a one-man show, or it's not a show which only one political party can deliver. It's a show for the whole citizens. 1.4 billion. 1.4 billion. I'm saying this again and again because we are almost 1/3 of the world, and we are setting good trends. And I'm sure with people like Said Zafar Islam, I'm sure who are made political activity as a career, India is going to get great leadership in the political domain. And we want people like you all to join the political arena and guide us and take us forward. So, Zafar Bhai, thanks a lot for joining, even though you are overseas, promoting our country, our concepts, our way forward. So it's a great achievement for our country that people like you are representing us. We feel very proud. And of course, Sanjay ji, my friend Sanju, who I call very fondly, this conversation couldn't have happened without your motivation and your strong support. And you you promised me, yes, I will bring a great person, and we got him. And that was Manish ji. We got him. And then when you got Manish ji, I said, okay, let me try to get an elected representative. And when, Zafar Bhai said, यार ये हम सोच ही रहे थे कि ऐसा कुछ होना चाहिए, और आपने कर दिया, हमको बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है। ये हम चाह रहे थे करो, अब आप ट्रेडर्स के साथ भी करो। हम बोले नहीं, ट्रेडर्स हमारा डोमेन नहीं है, आप ट्रेडर्स के लिए और किसी को पकड़ो, लेकिन कंज्यूमर्स के साथ 22 तारीख के बाद यू कैन बी रेस्ट एश्योर्ड, हम लोग इन लोगों को सोने नहीं देंगे, हम लोग जगह देंगे। And as you know, our tagline is Jago Grahak Jago. We are very much visible in the social media. We are very much visible within the population. So, Sanjay ji, a big thank you for taking this initiative. as I always told my friends also, you heard that you have de facto taken over the work which we have been doing in Delhi. Now you have taken the responsibility to take it forward. So we are highly grateful to you for accepting our request, and I'm sure we will bring a change in a very democratic manner, in a very responsible manner, where citizens will gain, and we will not do such kind of disruption which is not good for the country. We will only do such disruptions which will be in the interest of the country, interest of the citizens. As you know, we are apolitical people, so we will always do that, which will help the country, help good leadership being provided, like our today's Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji, who has always been in the front and front foot to take our country forward in the interest of the citizens. So, thanks to Praful Bhai for taking time. Thanks to Bina ji, our board members, who are very senior people. They are all plus 80, but they are active. And that's the inspiration we get. We get inspiration from people like Dr. Mahadev, Dr. Professor Ramaiah, from US at 4 o'clock in the morning, they're joining. So we feel very proud that they have joined us. We feel very proud for journalists like Sudeep ji, who join us always for such activities. And all my friends, including my consumer activists. Then there are, I can see a lot of nice legal faces. Jyoti ji, you never came to ask any questions, but your face has brought a bright sign in our group. So your face is looking bright and shiny. Thank you for putting on your camera. And once again, I thank everyone for taking time to come and join this conversation. God bless all of you. Keep enjoying. Have a great weekend. And see you all soon. We will keep meeting regularly as being proposed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Be in
Thank
touch.
you, everybody.
Be in touch. So if you will allow me, I will close the meeting.
Please do
Yes.
close. Please, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.